My name is JP Singh and I am Director for Solution Engineering at Ciena. I am responsible for the Asia Pacific geography for Ciena.
Sir, thank you very much for taking out time for this interview. So you were one of the speakers at the inaugural session of this Future Generation Optical Transport Network Summit here in Mumbai. So how was your experience in this conference?
Yeah, I would say, I really like this particular platform because this is just the only platform where we have all the transport planning, transport vendor ecosystem coming together. And we had a very good attendance from Idea, Vodafone, Airtel, and all the key operators, as well as regulatory. It was surprised to see even the regulatory presence here today, which is a very good thing to bring all the parties together. And I really appreciate NextGen of taking this initiative of bringing people together and creating a platform for information exchange between the vendor ecosystem and the operator ecosystem and even the regulatory environment together at one place.
So how do you see the optical transport network market, particularly in the Indian telecom industry?
Yeah, I think the time has come for optical, right? So far, even one of the speaker from TRI, he mentioned that earlier the time was for wireless broadband. It's called broadband, but it's practically wireless broadband. But the time has now come for optical broadband. And he also highlighted that they are also suggesting to the government time frames within which we should get fiber to the people, right? To the homes, to enterprises, to offices, to deliver what he calls the real broadband. So optical infrastructure is going to be the key. Right? And also, like I mentioned, that one of the North American operator, the CEO said, the more wireless we become, the more wireline dependent we are becoming. So the importance of optical transport is going to be more and more every year from this point onwards. Without having an underlying optical infrastructure, it's not going to be possible to have a seamless broadband experience. And one of the speakers from Airtel, he also mentioned that even just to put one fiber point of presence in every square kilometer, they need about, I think, 3 lakh kilometers of more fiber. That shows you the amount of work that needs to be done on the optical infrastructure. There is tremendous work that needs to be done. It's time that people are realizing that optical is going to be the, I would say, the backbone of the infrastructure is optical. So optical is definitely the thing that needs to be worked upon, and people are realizing it. Not just operators, not just the technology providers, but also the government and the regulatory environment are realizing it. The importance of optical is going to increase.
So now coming back to again the implementation part, so do you see any sort of a challenge like in Indian telecom industry as far as deployment is concerned?
Significant challenge. The main challenge comes from the optical fiber cable itself. Just to put things in context, India and China are similar population. Out of the global fiber capacity utilization, China uses 60% of the global fiber capacity. Total number of fibers sold in the world, China uses 60%. India is close to 5%. You can see that there's a 12 times difference between how much fiber China is deploying versus India is deploying. Part of it is because the cost of deployment of fiber itself is very high in India because of the right-of-way charges. In China, the government is very supportive and there are no right-of-way charges for key operators. So this huge cost is preventing the operators to roll out fiber. Then there are deployment challenges in terms of getting permission from multiple agencies, right? Even maintenance challenges. So fiber, the operator said there are too many cuts in the fiber. They have to actually deploy extra equipment to maintain it. To quote a number from one of the operators, they said 3 cuts in a year in US from east coast to west coast, which is bigger than country's geography. It's more than 3,000 kilometers, right? And in India, in 1,000 kilometer, 6 to 7 cuts per 1,000 per month. So the number of cuts are, you imagine it's like, it's twice in a month what they have in a year. So factor of 24. So we don't have good support from the infrastructure as well, right? So it's like a completely different environment. So we have so many challenges on the optical infrastructure, but now hopefully we'll get support from all the different corners, because it's becoming a key factor for India's next level of growth.
Right, sir. We all are hopeful about that. So thanks a lot for taking out time for this interview, and you have a good day.
Thank you. Thanks Nexen for organizing this conference. Thank you.
It's our pleasure.